Planeswalkers. Because you don't have to fog every turn until your opponent runs out of a deck. And you have a plan if fog isn't good.
Yeah, like so, having a plan with a fog deck that's not decking your opponent is great.
Yeah, so like I had Garruk in the one I was building, but like Dignitary Venser might be a legitimate plan in a deck with fogs. Like your Venser gets to removing all of their permanents from the board. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, just pretend that your opponent goes Stonehorn Dignitary, and you're like, oh, that sucks. And then they go Venser on the subsequent turn, and you don't have a counterspell.
Well, everyone's been talking about that in this format, and I don't think it's a great lock on its own, but I think that having those pieces as parts of a fog deck might be reasonable.
Yeah, well, you don't need to have it be a full lock. For Turbo Fog to win, you can just be like, lock it enough to make the game fall apart for your opponent.
Fog twice off of it, you try it again, then you actually have to fog once they kill it. So, it looks like this round, we have Josh Crowe. Looks like he's playing Garruk Primal Hunter, Grave Titan, just sort of this green-black rock deck. On the other hand, we have Braun-Duin, Caw-Blade. So again, the green versus Caw-Blade matchup. We'll see how this one goes.
I would definitely say that this is effectively a rock style deck.
Yeah.
He's calling it Rock Hunter. That's fine with me. Rock Hunter because of the Garruk Primal Hunter.
Yes.
But like, this looks to me like a classic style rock kind of deck. It's going to be actually very interesting because one of the things that is very much the case, rock decks are mid-range, and they range between control and aggro, so mid-range control, mid-range aggro, and Caw decks, the Caw-Blade decks, they're a mid-range control deck.
But it's two different aspects. The rock decks historically have been, I have control cards and I have aggro cards. I have board presence cards and I have hand disruption cards. And the Caw-Blade deck, people always say don't play rock because, the cards just are kind of very modal. What makes Caw-Blade good because all the cards kind of blend together and make a game plan regardless of what you're doing. So, but, if the rock decks cards line up right, then they're insane.
Well, I mean, what do they both do though? They both fight over the board.
Yeah.
That's the thing that they like. Yes, this has hand disruption. Yes, this has counter spells. But what they're both doing is they're both fighting over the board.
Sure.
So I'm actually very curious to see how this plays out.
This looks like more of the Tim Skowski list.
Yeah,
with
the
Heroes
Blade
and
Splicers.
He has a Consecrated Sphinx.
I can't believe we forgot to mention that. The Blade Splicer build is like one of the most common builds.
Not after last weekend, but before last weekend for sure.
But I mean, go ahead.
Yeah. But Blade Splicer before last weekend was the build that was winning everything on Moto.
Yes.
Except for a Mary Angel. There's just a lot of things that you can do with Caw-Blade. So looking at this match, Josh Bates on the left, he is going to be playing the Rock deck, and Brian on the right is going to be playing Caw-Blade.
So my real questions with this are, what kind of weapons does Josh Bates? Pardon me.
Josh Crowe?
Josh Crowe.
There we go.
Josh Crowe.
Oh, Josh Bates. There we go. That's it. Going by Josh Bates. There we go.
Oh, okay. What kind of weapons does Josh Bates have for this matchup that are actually specific to Caw-Blade? Honestly, it doesn't look like he has any specific weapons for this matchup. So I'm going to presume he's aware that Caw-Blade is a deck. So my feeling is that he probably feels like he's just going toe for toe. His plan isn't to be like...
The weapons against Caw-Blade are never like hate cards. You're playing
I'm not
against
talking
a
about
control
hate.
deck. Right.
I'm talking about like...
But it's always things like Inquisition. That's going to take out the sword against your green-black deck. That's going to take out all the guys. Like, that's your weapon.
I think you're missing the kind of thing I'm trying to say here, which is, what is his game plan? His game plan is just to go toe for toe.
Sure. I think his game plan's Lotus Cobra. That's huge.
Inquisition turn 1.
Inquisition reveals Blade Splicer, Preordained Squadron Hawk, probably just taking the Hawk. I think he just has to take the Hawk here, because unless he has another Inquisition or a Despise to take the Hawk next turn because of all those tap lands.
Yeah, I think that you're actually...
It looks like Brian Mulligan, too. So, yeah. No, the important cards here, I think, are Garruk, Lotus Cobra, and Inquisition on the rock side. And I think on the other side, the important card is Sword of Feast and Famine. I think that is how you are going to win this game. He has Go for the Throat in his deck still.
I'm actually really surprised by that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm playing online a black control deck, and I'm mostly using Doomblade in that slot because Doomblade just seems better right now.
The quote from my article this week was, if you're still playing Go for the Throat in your decks, you're just embarrassing yourself.
Preordain,
No offense, but that...
Preordain and a Glacial Fortress. I definitely, I don't know that it's embarrassing, but I don't know that it's good.
I think maybe I overestimate Tempered Steel. It looks like 2 Blade Splicers and Seachrome Coast. So he shipped 2 and his draws were Blade Splicer and Seachrome Coast for the turn. Yeah. Looks like Brian drew another Preordain, which is awesome. That card is amazing. Blade Splicer comes down. Can't really see Josh's hand.
So Josh, I think I see an Explorer, a Marsh Flats, a Grave Titan.
He does not have green mana. He's got a Lotus Cobra too, just no green mana. He's got to Go for the Throat, which does not kill that Golem token.
Yeah. I mean, like, the black deck I have, it had 3 Go for the Throats, and they just kept falling down and down in my counts.
Yep, there it looks like Brian's going to draw Squadron Hawk here. Assuming I saw that card right. Crunch in for 4.
In they come, and down comes Squadron Hawk.
Yep.
Setting up the other 2 that have been waiting in the deck.
Let's see here. Yeah, Josh needs to find a green source to be in this game here.
Yeah, and if he does get a green source, he can lay a Lotus Cobra immediately, and then he'll have access after that to 3 mana, but the 3 mana only gets him a, in his current hand, Go for the Throat. He could explore into another land.
Looks like he just drew another Explorer.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game is going to go downhill very fast.
I think that unless Josh gets some sort of amazing miracle draw, I mean, I almost feel like with the hand that Josh has, he should just Go for the Throat, that Squadron Hawk or that Blade Splicer, just to stop the bleeding a little bit.
Probably. If it was a Doomblade, you for sure Doomblade that token, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he just drew another Cobra. That's lethal next turn with a land. Just packing it in. Okay, let's see what the sideboards are like.
Sideboard. From Brian, who's playing Cobblade, I think he did not actually... Oh, wait a second. One of the things that we can actually look at,
Nope.
Josh did not show he had any green.
Okay, so how are you going to board if you don't see green? Celestial Purge.
Celestial Purge would almost certainly come in.
Oblivion Ring's probably okay,
Oblivion Ring, absolutely.
And I might consider some Day of Judgments. Maybe.
I don't know if we saw enough to know if he was giving a hint. Like, what deck is he representing?
If he's playing mono black, which does look like, he's either going to be playing Vampires, where I want Day of Judgment, or Grave Titan, where I want Day of Judgment.
I can accept that. That.
I think that you might want to cut down on heroes because they aren't really great against the black removal spells. I can see cutting into the Royals. There aren't really any black cards that you want to into the Royal for value. There's not like a Planeswalker or anything that you're really aiming for. So I would cut into the Royal for sure. And
So I definitely agree with Oblivion Ring, Celestial Purge. Day of Judgment, I think we'll see. I think
I would probably board in 1 or 2, just given no information. I would board out into the Royals and 2 heroes, I feel like, for 2 Purge, 2 Oblivion Ring, and a Day of Judgment.
On the other side of the board, I expect to see Nature's Claim as a real possibility because of swords.
Yeah, in a green-black deck, it's not a situational answer. It's you are going to lose to the sword. You have no other way to beat that card.
And
a green-black grinder deck, actually, is the real key.
Maybe Despise, but I don't think so. Maybe Despise. I mean,
Despise or Duress. I could see just moving around the discard.
Yeah.
I think you want Despise over Duress because I think just because of Squadron Hawk. I think that's the card you have to beat. I think Duressing Sword is nice, but I think you have to despise, if he has Jace, you have to despise Jace. And I think you have to despise Squadron Hawk if you can despise Squadron Hawk. I might cut a Go for the Throat. Though Blaze Splicer does indicate hero, that could really go
I mean, I
either
would
way.
still keep in the Go for the Throats just because even though they don't kill the blink mouth that you might see, or ink mouth, and it does not kill the golem. I mean, there are other cards that you might worry about.
I wouldn't board all of them out. I'd probably board one or two, leave in one or two.
Dismember does so much of the work that you want it to do in that position.
I think you want to keep in the Obstinate Balos. I think that this is a deck where discarding that card is a huge benefit and basically turns their sword hit from them getting a turn and you losing a card to both of you just get a turn.
I actually think you might even want to board in the Obstinate in this matchup.
I did not think about that, but yeah, I think you don't want Karn. I think that Karn's just going to get Spell Pierce or Mana Leaked in the late game.
I disagree. I think you do want the Karn. I've been playing a lot of Karn online, and one of the things about the Karn is that you have other things that are going to get hit, and then if you drop a late game Karn, you just take over the game.
You do have a lot of discard. Them having late counters makes your late discard real.
And let's pretend that you cast a Karn that late, right? It's certainly possible that they'll have the Mana Leak or the Spell Pierce for it, but you have a lot of other things they've got to use that on.
Do you board out Wormcoil Engine?
I think Wormcoil is not great in this matchup.
You could cut a Wormcoil. It's not insane.
Actually,
Batterskull?
I might cut a Garruk, actually. The reason I might cut a Garruk is that you don't know if they're going to go into Daze or not, like Day of Judgment. But the thing about the Garruk is that it is cheaper such that, unlike the Karn, which is going to come out in the late game, this is going to come out in the mid game, and it's probable that during the mid game it's going to get stopped by something.
Well, does die to Colonnade on the single attack, but the other thing is that it just leads to these unreal Lotus Cobra stars. You just go like Cobra Fetch Garruk.
It's an amazing 5-drop for the turn 3 play, and we're going to see if Josh's deck actually works this time.
Okay.
One of the things that we're going to see here from Brian is the opportunity for him to figure out what to do in Game 3 once he realizes that this is not a mono-black deck. It's possible that he sat next to Josh Bates and he has some sense of what Josh's deck looks like, but if he hasn't, he has not actually seen any green to know that there's something that could come out that would be worth thinking about. Josh looks like he's mulliganing, I think, and then I think that Brian is also doing a mulligan. So we've got a pair of mulligans, one on each side. The Blade Splicer build that Brian, I'm going to say Braun-Duin, that Brian Braun-Duin is playing, definitely makes for the possibility of a lot more aggressive starts. And unlike the Mirren Crusader builds that also have that possibility for an aggressive start, the 4 power, or 4 damage, I should say, is actually split up between 2 bodies. Your Blade Splicer and then the larger body of the Golem that comes with it. And they both present. And there's the 6 cards. Josh looks. He keeps, and Brian also is keeping. So we're both on 6 cards. And it's Swamp Go. Brian, Celestial Colonnade.
Yep. And Verdant Catacombs enters play, and Inquisition Sphinx.
Inquisition is so good. Okay.
Reveals Dismember, Consecrated Sphinx. Let's see what else. His options are Dismember or Blade Splicer, but
I see Gideon in there, but he can't take it,
Gideon,
obviously.
Hero, and Consecrated. So, looks like this is going to late game. I don't know what Josh has in his hand, but both Blade Splicer and Dismember are reasonable choices. If he has a Cobra, he might have just jammed the Cobra in, but let's see what he's got. There's a Grave Titan. Yeah, Blade Splicer. It looks like he's on more of a long game plan rather than the sort of rug-style turbo plan. Brian draws a land, a Seachrome Coast, to be exact. Josh draws, plays a Swamp.
Swamp says go. Look at these are some very ponderous starts from Josh Bates.
He only has 4 Swamps in his deck.
There's a Lotus Cobra in his hand now.
Yep.
Crack, and we're gonna see the first forest of the match.
Yep.
And
here's the green mana.
See, look at my deck. It does this other thing.
Yeah. There's 8 forests in the deck, and looks like last game was an anomaly for this base green deck.
Josh Bates dropping Lotus Cobra. He can follow up here, and if he has a fetch land, he would have no other land though. Okay.
Ooh.
A Dismember would not be terrible from Brian.
Probably just dismember that. Your opponent's short on mana. If they don't get to ramp with Cobra, they're not getting anywhere fast.
A Hero of Bladehold can come down for Brian if he has the land. I believe he does.
I think he just drew it, actually. Yep, that was the Tectonic Edge off the top to slam the hero right into play.
And Explore, hoping for something. Did that get it? Is that a fetch land? It looks like another Verdant Catacombs. And to go.
And
that there is
online.
no Doomblade, no Go for the Throat, no Dismember. And in come the soldiers attacking right away.
Yep. This is what Hero does best. If you don't kill it, it kills you.
I mean, the ways for Josh to get out of this situation, it really does involve, I would say, nothing coming from Brian for a few turns, and probably now Obstinate Baloth and or Thrun right now.
Yeah, something to block the hero, something to make sure that it never hits you again. Like, it can make some guys, you can take 8, you can go to 3. You can win if that happens.
I mean, though, to be fair, that Celestial Colonnade is waiting in the wings. I mean,
he does not have Tectonic Edge, that is true. It would have to be Obstinate Baloth, put him up to 7.
Come on, Baloth. Solemn is not exciting here.
No.
Oh, boy. Okay.
No Consume the Meeks.
No Black Sun Zenith. That looks
pretty rough for me. I mean, I think that what's going to happen here is he's probably
dead.
Well, I mean, he's not dead yet. I mean, he can. Oh God, he's pretty close to dead.
He's even dead if he plays the Grave.
O-ring, scoopity.
Yeah, that's
there
enough.
We go.
And see if we can get another match up here.
Well, we're going to try to see if we can get another match after this, but it will, of course, be dependent on if another match is available for us to watch.
Okay.
For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan here with Ari Lax, and we're here in Star City Games Live's Open Series, Day 1 of Standard, here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yep. And we just saw Braun-Duin just crush Josh Crowe.
Josh
Bates. Bates, my bad. And I'm kind of sad we never actually really got an opportunity to see Josh win.
See Garrick online either.
Or not even win. I didn't mean to say win. To see Josh play. He cast some Inquisitions.
Yeah. So we should have a match soon. We're switching up. Let's see who we have. I don't remember any of the names from the other feature matches off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't either.
So, what? Okay, so we're going to see Ben Friedman, who, well, we'll see once we get the list, but